And straight away, John, we've a couple in there, Kieran Burke there in particular, just on Facebook. The prediction for Ireland and Wales straight away, this is a huge game in Aviva next week, next month.
I knew that would come up. Well, obviously, it goes without saying, I think Wales will win the game. You know, you wouldn't expect anything else, would you, from a proud Welshman who played over 50 times for his country. But no, I think we've had a slight blip in the last few games. We're still unbeaten, like the Republic. But it's a game that Wales have to win. I really feel that. It's imperative we don't get beat, because we can forget top spot if we lose. That'll be 7 points behind the Republic. I think Republic of Ireland will probably start favourites for the game, being as they've had such a good start. But you know, I think Gareth Bale obviously is he's going to be fit, and I think we'll need a very good performance against a very well organised Republic of Ireland team. You've started the group fantastically well. You've had some really good results. The Austria result was magnificent, considering they've not lost for over 4 years at home. You went to Serbia and got a really good draw. So you beat Georgia 2-1, where they tell me you didn't play particularly well. But you know, you got it done. You got the wins. You've got the points on the board, and I feel as if Wales are good enough to win. It'll be a great game. We're all going to be there. We'll all enjoy it, and it's become such a massive game already, even only after 4 games, because you finish off in Cardiff. That's the last game of the qualifying campaign, and it's important that Wales just get back on track and get back to winning. We won our first game, and we've drawn our next 3, given some sloppy goals away. It'll be very difficult because the atmosphere and everything else will take a good crowd, a lot of Welsh fans, but I think Wales will just nick it. But as I said, you would have expected me to say anything else.
You've obviously got an old friend of yours in with you tonight, Kenny Cunningham.
Yes.
There's been a couple of arguments in the past, one in particular where was it Robbie Brady, Aaron Ramsey. Can you see any more of that in the coming weeks?
I'm sure you will. Well, of course, Robbie Brady's suspended, isn't he? So he's a big loss for you. You know, he's your sort of one of your big players, if you like, one of Martin's main men. Same as if we missed one of our main men, a Bale or a Ramsey or a Allen or a Williams. So you want everybody fit for your big games. That's for sure. But yeah, there'll be a bit of banter between myself and Kenny, no doubt.
I know you went to see Gareth Bale yourself last week just for a bit of stuff with the BBC there. James Bourne here wants to know, do you think Ireland will be able to hold Gareth Bale off if he's back to full fitness?
Well, listen, it's I'm sure you'll have a plan for him. Seamus Coleman plays on the right for right back. He's up and down. He's that'll be an interesting one, because they tell me what a great player Seamus Coleman is. I've seen quite a lot of him. Obviously, he's one of your own. You absolutely idolise him, like the Welsh do with Gareth. That'll be a pivotal sort of battle, if you like. Who can win that battle on that left-hand side, if you like. You look what Gareth Bale has done. He destroys the best players in the world with his pace and his prowess and his his power, and obviously his goal-scoring ability. So, as I said, listen, we could go through the team, individuals and everything else. It's whoever controls, whoever gets the share of the football on the night, and whoever takes their chances. Big players need to step up, and we will obviously hope for a great evening at the Aviva. But from a Welsh point of view, very much outnumbered in the studio today, but I'm very much flying the flag for the Taffs.
Just to switch away from that at the moment there, we had one just in from Conor Coban. He's just asked, if Arsene Wenger does go from Arsenal at the end of the season, who do you think should replace him at the Emirates?
Who do I think should replace Hartson Wenger? Well, first of all, he's still in the job, and there's talk about him signing an extension. I still think Hartson Wenger gets an awful lot of stick. You look at it this season: Manchester United not in the Champions League, Chelsea not in the Champions League, Liverpool not in the Champions League, Arsenal being knocked out in the last 16. They made it to the Champions League. Everybody's talking about Pochettino being this genius. I'd like to see Pochettino win something first. But Arsenal have won 6 Premier League trophies and 3 or 4 FA Cups. They've qualified for the Champions League group stages for 17 seasons on the bounce. It's remarkable, and people still give Arsene Wenger a lot of stick. I think it's only when eventually when he does go, you realise what a great job he's done. Admittedly, no title in the last 13 years. Yes, I think that's frustrated the Arsenal crowd. But who would I like to see replace him? I like the guy at Juventus, Allegri. They are a team that are used to winning. They've got 5 La Ligas, not La Liga, Scudettos on the spin. They play Porto tonight, of course, in the Champions League. They're a good side. They lost last season to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Very, very close game. So somebody like him, but don't be surprised if Arsene Wenger stays on for another few years.
John, we've loads coming here, obviously, the Celtic connection.
Yeah.
Straight away, one is just asked here, what's the favourite memory you have from Celtic, from your time at Celtic?
Well, obviously, playing in the big games, you know, the big derby games at that particular time, Rangers were a strong team. They had some good players. So the fact was that I'd scored a lot of goals in the Celtic Rangers games, and the UEFA Cup run in 2003 was magnificent. I missed the final through a back injury, but the goal at Liverpool was a great memory. Just
on that one there, Tony Coleman just asking, he thinks there's no doubt that if you were fit, Celtic would have won that cup.
Well, that's nice of Tony to say that.
What's your own thoughts on that, he wants to know?
Well, I had a good run to that. You know, I'd scored the goal against Celta Vigo, which took us past Christmas in Europe for the first time in 20 years. We lost the game, but that was ultimately a really big goal for us. And then the goal against Liverpool in the quarter-final, the run, we beat Blackburn away from home, and playing in Boavista, Henrik got the late winner, the celebrations were great. And then going to Ibrox on the Sunday and then beating Rangers 3 days after, we knew we were in the cup final. That was a great, lot of travelling, but we went there and managed to win. And strangely enough, we never picked up a trophy that season, But as I said, I was on fire that year. I'd scored 25 goals, and then I missed the last 7 league games and the cup final. So there's no doubt I'd have added to my goal tally then if that would have helped Celtic. But it was a really, really warm night in Seville, and I've always struggled to play in the heat. My face goes a bit blotchy and a bit, I struggle obviously with my colouring, but no, a lot of people have said that, but we'll never know now. We'll never know.
Speaking of Celtic, there's another good striker at the moment in Moussa Dembele. Dean McGahey has asked us, do you think he'll still be a Celtic player next season, Moussa?
My answer to that is, honest answer is no. I think he's he's a remarkable talent, and I think there will be some bids that will blow everything out of the water in the summer. People are talking 20 million, 30 million. Listen, 20 million's to the average man on the street, and a man like me, you, it's an awful lot of money. But in football nowadays, the money that is shared around the Premier League and around Europe, in terms of fees for players, it's astronomical. So that figure I've just mentioned there may well rise in the summer. He's a phenomenal talent. He's very young. It'll be very interesting to see how he does in the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. But I think if you asked a lot of Celtic fans, they're hoping he stays. I'm very much hoping he stays. But I'm also a realist, and it's very difficult when there's so much interest and so much money involved. Obviously a massive transfer fee.
And just sticking on Celtic, because there is some more coming through. You've obviously seen Brendan Rodgers yourself, a close hand at Swansea and now at Celtic. Just how good of a manager is he, and the job he's done at Liverpool and now at Celtic?
Well, he's proven to be a very good manager. He finished second at Liverpool, didn't he? Worked with fantastic players. He's got the experience. He's gone to Celtic, and he's turned it all around. When you think the 2 years previous that, all the animosity and a little bit of ill feeling, if you like, towards Ronnie Dyler, the big games that Celtic kept losing in, and the performance levels, obviously the crowd staying away and the numbers being down. Brendan's give everybody that feel-good factor again. They're playing great football. He's got some really good, exciting players. I could go through them. Patrick Robertson, the likes of James Forrest, Sinclair, Dembele, Lee Griffiths, of course. Defensively, they look a lot more, look tighter at the back, and they're just absolutely destroying everything in sight at the minute. They're on a wonderful run, and you want to keep that going.
And just one in here, can they go the full season unbeaten and win the treble?
Well, at the start of the season, I said no. I think there's always one game that catches you out, you know, where you're just that little bit off and the opposition have a great day. Listen, you know, you can't rule it out, because the way that they go in there, they're destroying everybody, and they just look a team that are all in sync. They got a great balance to the side. They got a bit of youth, a bit of experience. Scott Brown obviously leading them exceptionally well. Great lad, great skipper, and it's possible, but I'm probably going to say they might just get done by the odd game. I hope they do it. I hope they do it.
And just a couple more before we finish up. There's just someone asking the other side of the city in Glasgow at Rangers. Just what's your thoughts on what's going on there at the moment, and who should replace Mark Warburton?
Well, I really don't know. They're talking about director of football. They're talking about giving it to someone as an interim manager till the end of the season. That would probably be my preference if I was
Alex McLeod's going back, maybe
coming from a Rangers side, because why give somebody a 2 or 3 year contract now when you cannot judge where Rangers are at the minute and where Celtic are. It's night and day. You know, it really is night and day, and it's going to be years before they get anywhere near Celtic, because you look at financially, you look at the class in level of player that both squads have. Celtic are 27 points clear in the league. Rangers fighting for 3rd place in the SPL. They've gone through the mill as a football club, and there's lots of misdemeanours that have gone on there. All of a sudden you think everything is okay, everything is back running smoothly, and obviously it's not. The Mark Warburton debacle, I didn't think, not quite sure whether Mark Warburton really was doing a good job. I know we brought them up a couple of levels, but you're expected to, you know, you're manager of Rangers. But to be so far behind is not acceptable. Some of the things that Mark was saying, you know, if Celtic lose 2 or 3 and we win 2 or 3, the gap will be almost, you know, it's bizarre at the end. But no, as I said, it's very difficult to make any comparisons because Celtic are just so far ahead.
Can we just wrap it up here with a couple asking about the League of Ireland? Obviously we know you watched Dundalk a good bit last season. We have Dundalk and Shamrock Rovers kicking off this season for us on Friday night. I'm sure you'd like to get over and watch 1 or 2 League of Ireland games as well.
Yeah, I obviously when I'm over, I thought Stephen Kenny did a fantastic job, especially in the Europa League. You know, they beat some good teams, and you know they got that little bit of extra cash for the club, which is always much needed. They can make stadium repairs, and maybe Stephen can go in and, you know, try and get a little bit more quality calibre of player. And no, I thought they did excellent, and obviously I love coming over to Dublin. I'm working for Air Sports. I always get a nice warm welcome when I come over there. So no,
so we'll be getting you up to Oriel Park or over to Tallaght Stadium.
Yeah,
so,
it'd be nice. Yeah, thank you.
And John, we're going to just finish up here now. There's just one question about it. I know a friend of yours, Alan Honeyman, wants to know: was Chris Sutton always as opinionated when you played with him?
Chris is Chris. He's difficult to, you know. But what I'd say, he's a bit misunderstood sometimes, because you know, he's when we all retired, Chris disappeared for 7 years. He sort of went up to space. No one's seen him. No one saw Chris Sutton for 7 years. Just went down to Norwich.
Is this what happened?
Went on to his farm, and in the last 2 years, he's come out from nowhere. He's upsetting everybody. He's saying everything. Celtic fans are absolutely loving it. He's even tweeting videos in his car. You know, the thought of Chris Sutton on Twitter 5 years ago, he would say, "Are you lot mad? Are you sure about me going on Twitter?" He can't get off it now. He's obsessed with it. But he's a good lad, Chris. Obviously, I know him very well. I played against him several times when we were in the Premier League, when I was at Arsenal and West Ham, and he was a great player, fantastic player. Great foil for Henrik, you know, when they had that treble winning season the year before I got there. And he's a nice guy, Chris Sutton. Obviously, people will have their own opinions of him, but from my own point of view, you know, he's a nice big fella and he's a good friend of mine.
Brilliant, John. It's perfect. Thank you very much for your time today.